adventure.
His fast gun for hire heeds the calling wind.
This is High Noon and welcome! Are you prepared to draw? I hope so! And I don't mean any of that liver-lizzied, gun-slinging stuff. And I don't mean any of that arty stuff. I'm here to do that. You all will just draw together, become family, friends, help each other, support each other, all that stuff. This is a place to have a good old time, friends and frolic, and all that stuff. Okay? This is it.
Hello, everyone. How are you all today? Yes, it's October the 4th, 2021. Let's open up on air. There we go. For anybody that wants to come in, let's, of course, switch over to the right thing, which it is now. Let's make sure everything else is good. Let's see. Am I? Sure. Okay. Oh, cool. Take that down. Everything is. I think we're good. Hello, Sojourn. How are you? I think. Do I need my? I don't know how Twitter works with this. Going live on Twitter. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Where should we? Okay, let's see. We're going to change convertness to brightness. We're going to add 3 folders, one for each panel. Rename them after what they should be. So, panel 1. Okay, so we'll do another panel in there. So we want people and background. So let's see how many people are here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll go person 1. Person 2. I thought I. see. V space 2. V space 3. So what this is page 3 of Snowdrift number 2 that I am going to be coloring here as soon as I get things all set up. I need a space. Okay, so I think we can. Okay, so this guy here is going to be person 1. I guess she's going to be person 2. We have done our version of this before, so I'm going to grab her coat. I'm not sure whether we ever colored her coat here. Well, anyways, I guess we'll give her a dark gray coat. We're not going to do person 1 yet. We're going to do person 2. Start getting some colors in here. Okay, so there we go. There's gray. Okay, so black for the pants. Black for the hair. Wait, you know what? I'm going to keep them separate. Hair will be up further. There we go. Guess we'll grab the gray from here. There we go. And let's have the skin color. Right there. So now I don't have. I know she's got gloves on there. I'll decide the glove color later. Can't see her gloves. So that's person 2. Now I think I recognize him from page 2. Let's see. or probably page 1. Okay, yeah, so this looks like he's page 1 guy, so we'll take page 1 guys. Beard color. Come over to page 3. Okay, so she's person 2. Hey, Joshua, good morning. This is going to be person 3, person 4. We're going to put a little bit of color in here. How are you this morning, this afternoon, Joshua? Come back to page 1, grab his skin color because, like I said, this looks like it's this guy here, so. Do we have any? There we go. So I gotta figure out which one of each color. Well, he could be this guy, but it's not this guy. It's far enough over from the other gray one that I think we can give him the light green. You are eating breakfast. So what are you having for breakfast? Anything good? Okay, so there we go. We gave him the light gray coat. Let's see. Okay, so this looks like this guy here. Take his hair. Come back here. He looks like he could easily be person 2. No, 3. Breakfast burrito. Ooh, cool. I like breakfast burritos. Usually I've only had mine from McDonald's, but I still like them. Can you hear my TV in the background or not? Joshua. Yeah, I'm not sure where somewhere around here is supposed to be the skin. Hey, Mallet, how are you? Good morning. So we'll grab his skin color. There you go. There's, yes, lunchtime. Okay, so now we're gonna go with. This guy was wearing blue before, so we'll give him the blue jacket. What's the yes? You can hear the TV in the background, Mallet? Yeah, you should use noise reduction. Well, I'm going to use noise reduction. Different kind of noise reduction. Mom! Mom! Can you turn that down a notch or two? Please and thank you. There we go. Noise reduction. I know that's not exactly what you meant, but. Okay, I think this is just where's our goes. And we'll grab the gray from that. And put it on here. Preferred. Pants are black. You know what? Let's use the undershirt from the sweater. right here. There we go. Mr. Green Guy might actually have. We'll use, I guess, Mr. Green Guy here for. That'll go 2. And then we got the other color for those gloves right here. Okay, so there we go. How are you today, Mallet? How are you doing? Okay, so hey, Sketch, and anybody that wants to jump in the Discord, that is open, of course, too, as always. We got Mr. Green Jacket here. I'm going to make Mr. Green Jacket person 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6, and he's going to be number 7. So we want persons. This is page 3 of Snowdrift. Sketchbook. So a while back I drew this up myself and colored it a little. This was my rendition. So pretty much all got the same grade for the collar. What's up with the guy with the guy's right hand? This one, you mean? For some reason, he seems to be pointing out something on the map with his left, and he's got his arm behind him. I don't know why he's got his arm behind him, why John did that. Or do you mean something on my page? Yes, he's wearing kind of a glove. Well, my guy's got both hands here. This one. Left and right. Oh, left and right. Yes, what kind of glove is he wearing? It's fur based. It's something that I found for, well, John sort of made it a lot bigger than what it is. Like, let's see if I can get the reference quickly. That I took it from myself. Because as you see, if you can see in mine, John made it a little way bigger. Comics. This is no different number one. Reference. Well, I guess we got two. Like, I ended up combining with doing the colors there. I ended up combining two different types of gloves. Let's see. Open with Clip Studio. And open with. So yeah, I found these gloves in looking for these ones, and I found these ones in thing. I think in mine, I didn't really use these ones. Seems like John used these ones a little bit more. And just because I had these ones on the one character, I guess I could go back and switch it out a little bit. Grab pin joke thing there. So that's person 3. We could delete that and just go with fill that. Grab that. Although those two sort of do have the thing.
Can you hear me, Rick?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to change it. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I already did. The guy in the back with the green coat will have the double colored on. The green coat guy was supposed to have the double colored on anyways, right? So
No, in my phone, it just looked like he had like a monkey hand. I'm like, who is this monkey-handed character?
well, hopefully once I get everything.
But I mean, you didn't have to throw Dillard under the bus, though.
Hey, I can draw it, so who am I gonna throw under the bus? Well, not that I was actually trying to throw anybody under the bus, but actually, that should be above that. The gloves are above that too. Yeah, I just figured since I had already colored it, I'd use a bunch of the colors scheme that from my other picture. You
Looking
there?
at, yeah.
Uh, there we go. I'm just trying to figure out. There, that's that, and I guess we'll have that one. That, well, that should be above anyways. Looks like he's wearing a skunk says mallet. Yeah, it does look different. And hopefully once I get everything a little bit more tighter too. Right now I'm just trying to get the basics in, so I know where what all the colors are, how I'm gonna do. You know, I would like to get all the basic colors in for before the end of the day today. Doing this. And I do believe I'm gonna do a high noon over on what you call it, Rumble on Wednesday at noon Eastern. Since I didn't get to do a show there on Saturday, and of course Saturday we're going to start up there our Saturday shows. Which is good, I think. Are you talking, or did you say anything to? Wonder.
No, I'm taking care of something. I'll talk to
Oh,
you here in a bit.
okay, no problem. Rick, you should get ATS and convoy with us. American truck something? Yeah, I thought about it. How much is it at the moment? Is it on Steam? Where is it, anyways? There we go. I was gonna say this guy looks pretty sad. I guess he should look sad. But the boss is missing. I'm gonna give him the green hat too. The same color green hat. Everybody's color coded. What is this? Ninja Turtles? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in a half shell, turtle power.
Were you just singing the Ninja Turtles theme song?
Yeah,
I sound kind of weird. I came down with something.
you
I don't know
came
what
down.
it is. Yeah,
Hopefully it's not something too.
serious. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm with you on that. I heard Reed Mallett's comment. American Truck Driver Simulator. Is that the one that he
railroad.
played?
American Truck Simulator. Railroad
Yeah.
Online too. Yeah, I've got a few games that are on my wish list from Steam. Mallet. I think American Truck Simulator is one of them. What?
They make a special steering wheel from Thrustmaster for that game.
Wish list.
It's a steering wheel to mimic an actual trucking steering wheel.
Yeah, well, I can barely afford to get the game.
I'm not saying buying it. I'm just saying it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I could dream, Rick. You can't stop my dreams.
Well, I'm surprised Mallet hasn't got Bus Simulator 18 or whatever yet.
Bus simulator. I mean, you know, being a truck driver, that's like a dream that some people aspire to. I've never ever heard somebody grow up being I want to drive a bus one day.
Well, I think it's more Bus Simulator is creating a mass transit system in some sort of city.
Okay, so it's like a sim, uh,
Yeah.
a building sim, not a. Speaking of sims, oh man, I was looking up emulators the other night when I was watching Marsupio play that night. So I wanted to see if I could find a Super Metroid simulator.
Yeah, oh
But
yeah, there's
couldn't
lot.
find one. But
Oh, there's
I
lots of
found
NES ones. I can find you a NES one.
I found no a Super Nintendo for Super Metroid, not Nintendo.
Well, even that, there's lots of NES, Super NES
I
emulators.
need a. I did find the very first Civilization game on Super Nintendo.
Okay, don't have
Thought that
American
was kind
Truck
of cool.
Simulator on. Yeah, let's see.
What do you play your games on Steam?
Mainly, yeah. Now,
What did you play them on before?
uh, various things. Well, computer, but I just adding American Truck Simulator to my.
$20.
Yeah, 26 for me.
Well, I'm sorry, my brain is like set to U.S. dollar amount, as is my computer.
Although they have a lot of extras for it too. You want the whole thing for Canadian, it's $142.88.
You side up on the shaky side.
Oh, I just put it on my wish list anyways.
Easy over it. There you go. Get yourself an armor in Bay City. Night City. Huevos Rancheros in Los Angeles. Get you on the flip flop. You got a copy? Still on the road? I'm lost with the City of Angels.
On the law.
Mm. Yeah, your PC should be able to play it very well. Actually, I was looking at the specs for it. You're almost at the very top, but I think a 760 is a little bit more powerful than that GT 1030 you have. You there, Rick?
Yeah, I'm here. So, to,
Yeah, I would definitely look into getting that.
what, the
Maybe see if
American?
you could find a key. Yeah, first might be cheaper if you buy a key.
A key?
Yeah, game key. I don't know how they work. I'm just barely getting into PC gaming. Mallet might know how it works. Ooh.
Probably, I would think the same price. I don't know.
I figured that it wasn't gonna have a lot of graphical. Like you weren't gonna need something big to play it. It doesn't seem to have had any upgrades, like graphical fidelity upgrades, like some of the older games. I don't know when it came out, but
See whether I can find this guy.
you can download the demo.
No, maybe later. Didn't realize there was a.
Oh well, no, I'm not telling you to do it right now.
Oh, down. Down.
The bundle is $30 right now. That's not bad. I could
Uh,
see why people get into Steam. It's so cheap, man.
which bundle is $30?
It's the Buy American Truck Simulator Enchanted bundle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Comes with a new event with New Mexico, heavy cargo pack,
Yeah, and
steering cases pack.
they have sales all the time for various games too.
Yeah, and you still have lobbies for like older games. I was noticing some of the games I used to play on the Xbox 360 are still online here on Steam.
Mm.
You couldn't hope to get a match on the Xbox on those. I always wanted to try the farming simulators too.
Yeah, I've got that on my Farming Simulator 19 on my thing on my wish list. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we still got person one and person five to color.
And these simulator games will play on anything. I'm looking at their stats. What the heck was that?
What the heck was what?
Well, I just heard or felt a big thud somewhere in my neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Well, we live close to these product plants. They constantly have big rigs coming in and out.
Yeah. Hey, Ulrich. Good afternoon.
Morning, Elric. What do you say the other one? Railroad Online. See Train Simulator. I don't see no Railroad Online. Oh, here it is.
Ulrich says good morning to you, Sketchbook. He's probably not replying to me because I said good afternoon to him.
What's up, Elric? What are you up to this morning?
Oh, and I think I've decided too that I'm most likely going to be launching my campaign. I think things should go good enough that I can launch my campaign in June. And I'm probably even going to launch it on my birthday, June
I haven't seen that
24th.
movie in a while. Oh, brother, we're out though. It's a funny movie. Um, so will that be for Canadian Shield 2 or that will that be for
Well, Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift number 1.
oh, you're gonna launch them together?
Yeah.
Hey, that's not bad. That's not a bad idea.
Well, that's why I'm so concerned about getting them done together, if you will, so they're both done at that time. That's why I've been concentrating sort of on both of them.
I like the tracks on that vehicle right there.
Yeah, that is actually from a bit. That's sort of what they had to use to get around in that time. Like here, this is where we should be able to bring it up in a second here. Where I got it, I'll look at it right there. I think I got a couple other pictures of it from behind. I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, actually, here's another picture of it, but more in black and white. Uh, that was basically they didn't have snowmobiles back then, so in the time, so I had to figure out okay what the heck are they going to use to go searching in the snow, and this is stuff that I got. This is or it says snowmobile Canadian Penguin Mark III, 1949.
Kind of cool. I like to see that as a transformer or a Lego toy.
Yeah. Okay, so we're dealing with person 5 now, which is going to be his. Um, although John didn't draw it in, his thing is going to be unique. Let's see. You read about Elric or commented about Elric saying he's watching Brother or Where Art Thou, and he says, waiting for the rain to come during this time of year. It's usually very dry and windy. I'm happy we're getting rain. Well, we're getting rain around here, and I'm not happy, Elric. He says, Brother, Where Art Thou is really good, though. I haven't read Homer's Odyssey that movie is based on. Cool.
I didn't know it was based on Homer's Odyssey. Um, you don't like rain up there because at this time of year, doesn't it turn into sleet?
Oh, not yet. That's not for another 3 months.
Yeah, because where I'm at, we don't get snow very often, except for last year. But we do we do get sleet, lots of it.
Cross, be happy for the rain. Always be happy. No. We had rain yesterday. We had rain a couple days last week. Fall here. Fall, we usually get a lot of rain here in Canada.
So you're not happy when it rains.
Not usually. It's a pain when it rains. It can rain outside the city. We got water inside the city too, water plants and stuff like that. Garden hoses, that's what they're for, right? It's the
Right.
farmers out who need the rain. And hello, Eagle. Now people just complain only a little. Last time people in California wanted rain to go away, we had a 10-year drought. Now people just complain a little.
Yeah, that is true. They did have a drought for a long time. Oh, oh, that's here. Oh, oh yeah. This is why I always, when I forget to clean my screen, I don't like drawing on my screen. Because then I think I keep trying to erase something that's just stuck to the screen.
Bring this down to a darker. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, there we go.
So for the skin underneath. Hair. I'll make the hair black for this Eskimo or native, whatever you want to call them, Inuit.
What what do they call them up there?
Some people obviously still say Eskimo who don't care about political correctness, and most,
Do they?
I don't think most of the Eskimos care one way or another. But then, of course, there's the political correct term of Inuit, or used to be Inuit. I think it's changed recently. And oh, hey, Mallet's here again under his other account.
What account is that?
Well,
Oh,
there's Mallet
mallet. A regular
CNC.
mallet. Says
Don't let John see that coat. Why? Just because of all the different colors? Like a ball. There we go. Oh, brother, what says in the opening credits, it's easy to miss. I didn't even notice it the first time I saw it that it is based on Homer's Odyssey. What Mallet said. Well, I don't think Mallet even spelled Odyssey right. Ulrich, so you're lucky. You know what? To make sure I'm doing this. How do I get that? Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
What was that? I'm just
No,
trying to figure out what I'm doing for my coloring here.
no, I didn't. I didn't like what I was drawing, and I was like, ew. I do that sometimes.
I'm going to assume he did because my education is of the California variety. Okay, if you want to. I can't stop you. I cannot stop you from assuming anything. Alric. Okay, so person 2 needs her gloves, which we got right here.
Mm.
So, Elric, are you glad to hear when we'll most likely be launching Canadian Shield 2 Snowdrift number 1? And I think I'm going to probably put a release date, a delivery date of December on it. Iliad. So hopefully you will be able to have Snowdrift 1 and Canadian Shield 2 for Christmas. Three, four, person 4. Rick, so how many of these people does the Shield eat? None. Uh, like I said, I'm thinking this year. Well, next year. Well, can't launch June of this year. We're already past June of this year. Oh, Rick. So yeah, I meant more June of next Christmas. I mean, December of next Christmas. Because that means the campaign will be finished in August, and hopefully everything will be done by then. Drawn, colored, lettered. before the end of the campaign. But especially the Canadian Shield. The Canadian Shield's the biggest worry. I should have all the pages for Snowdrift. Well, John, I should have paid John for all the pages by then, and them all be drawn and colored. I would also shield the hell out of it. Oh yeah. Between now and early next year, I'm going to hopefully get an animation done for it. As I said, we'll think about that, Alric. So probably in January, January or February, I'm going to want to get together with you to, if you want to still do that alternate cover, we'll start getting together to getting that decent.
That's funny, Elric. As if you have to tell Cross to shill one of his books.
Well, I didn't do as much shilling as I probably should have for the last one.
Yeah, but you more than made up for it with the coloring book.
Well, actually, I didn't shill at all for the coloring book because I wasn't sure how to market that. But you know, in January, February, the latest, I'm going to be launching my pre-launch, so it'll be open like about 6 months beforehand. 5 to 6 months beforehand, unlike last time where it was very little. Well, I did what? I think a month last time, if that, for my pre-launch. Thing. I'm a customer. Dang, I don't care if I have to buy double Canadian issue 2. I want to do that card. Well, technically, that card's supposed to come free with one card. It's supposed to come free with anybody that signs up for the pre-launch. And then I was not going to be making it available to buy during the campaign because my agreement with Eric Natowski is that it was for a freebie for the pre-launch. And I do not want to go back on that agreement. Unless, I ask him and he says it's all right or whatever, but, because I asked him after I got it colored one time in his chat whether I could, how much it would cost me to be able to use it in my campaign for exactly that purpose. Using it as a freebie for the pre-launch stuff. Anybody who signed up, and he was nice enough to say, "Don't worry about having to pay me. I'll be nice." So at that point, you don't complain. Yeah, but when it comes to Shilling Cross, it needs a little motivation because I want to see that because I want to see him succeed. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll definitely be getting thing out. I'm gonna be putting together at least one press kit. I'm gonna be putting it out to some major Christian organizations, maybe to some major Christian newspapers. Um, I'm not sure where else. Maybe try and put it out, do a press kit for churches or whatever. I don't know. I gotta figure out. I gotta figure out like secret perks for them, and whether you can make it so only certain people can see certain secret perks. Because I'd like to do a comic shop thing behind the scenes secret perk. I'd like to do maybe a church secret perk and probably a local secret perk because I can't see charging people 5 or $10 to have it shipped to their place around here when I can just go give it to them via just hand it to them for a bus ride. And then of course I'm gonna get myself booked. Hopefully get myself booked on a lot of shows. On YouTube or Rumble or whatever.
Just saying hi to everybody.
You heard her. She's saying hi.
Hello.
Sketchbook says hello, mother.
Got all that's in there?
Well, he's in my ear. He's in the Discord.
Don't say it like that, Rich. She's gonna think you're hearing voices.
Well, she knows what I mean. She knows I got my headphones on and all that. So, let's see. People again. Background. Put 2 more. Well, how about people 2 here? Transport. So yeah, I plan on doing a lot more thing because I want this to go big, really big. I would like to get over the $10,000 mark. I'd like to get minimum between 10 and 15,000 because I figure if I get between 10 and 15,000, I can automatically have enough money to pay for Canadian Shield 3, Snowdrift 2, and Flame 1 to be drawn up, maybe even colored, and have enough to deliver all this, the campaign. Obviously, the biggest thing is delivering the campaign. Okay, so. Now, when I launch the campaign, I'm only going to put the $500 flexible goal, no matter what. But because because if I can meet the goal on the first day, which would really be nice. The faster you meet that goal, apparently the bigger the algorithm is.
Mm-hmm.
So so I'm thinking for myself for better for next doing all the right stuff that last time. I only went with the 2000 and I made it. Thanks to a lot of people out there. Obviously, the people that buy, and then obviously everybody who helped me put the word out there. Hello, Vapor Master. How are you? So, what are you drawing up today, Sketch?
Nothing in particular, just messing around, drawing Mario for some reason earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just looking at video game trailers. I blame Mallet.
Sure, why not? It's easy to blame Mallet, right? I see different pages today. I'm trying to save art from Rick. How many pages have you got done for Snowdrift? Uh, there are. John has drawn up 15 or 14 pages. Hopefully, by the end of this week, I'm going to have enough for him to do 4 or 5 more. Um, and as we're. Maybe you should make their clothes different color for each panel. Well, that would be a good thing, Mallet. But most people usually would have the same coat no matter what. Even today, well, today we have more, but back then they would not. And I think, especially as scientists going on this trip, they would probably put a lot of stuff. They'd probably only bring you one cool. So you're progressing well. Yeah, video games are fun to talk about. More fun to talk about than comics. They can be. Depends on when you how you get talking. I'll talk about video games or comics.
Not necessarily that they're more fun, it's just that games are more popular. Video games and movies are the top two medias right now.
Mm,
Everybody either watches movies or and shows or plays video games.
yeah,
That is hilarious, Vapor Master.
the
The
gaming
gaming
fan.
fan base is better than the toxic comic book fandom. Uh,
Yeah, but isn't
well,
there toxic fan base for both?
there's actually far more for gaming. I mean, that's why we made that joke when Heather Antos was leaving comics, go work in video games. I'm like, really? Have you seen the way they drag the supposed gaming journalists through the through the mud all the time?
Yeah.
Yes, the MCU does um, suck. I think it started off fairly well, but it started to just be too repetitive. And I can't stand when they try to make the enemies or the villains relatable. Again, I always tell them, think about Skeletor. Can't you just be evil?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a bunch of the Marvel comic villains were semi relatable in the comics, so it depends on how they're making them, trying to make them relatable. I'm not saying all, but
Yeah, not all. Well, take the biggest baddie they have, Thanos. They turned him from this maniacal, conquering murderer to some, what is it called? Eugenics professor.
yeah, and obsessed with death, you know, Lady Death or whatever her name was in.
I didn't mind it too much, but then again, it's a James Gunn movie. You shouldn't expect far too much out of him. And further yet, it's a Suicide Squad movie. You really shouldn't expect too much. That comic book alone itself is not it's not made to be like some masterpiece of comic book writing and art.
No,
Rick should just be a pro gamer, says Mallet.
yeah, I saw
Most
that.
so-called game journalists today don't even like video games or just hate them. They can't even complete a simple tutorial in Cuphead. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, well, because most of them, they're as far as their gaming experience goes, is mobile games, which are just tap here, tap there. Papermaster says, "I hated what they did with Peacemaker." I've never really read the character Peacemaker. If you have, then it's understandable. But as far as John Cena goes, that was like the best performance I've ever seen him give, and that's saying something. John Cena doesn't have very good performances in wrestling or in movies. That's right, I said it.
I don't even know, and just like wow. I,
The
I,
B
I do
36
actually I do
bomber.
actually have a Peacemaker comic before he was like with DC or whatever. I didn't even know DC owned them.
Mallet, what is the B-36 bomber other than the actual plane itself?
Super.
Papermaster says superheroes should be dark and disturbing. Actually, that's
Uh,
not true. That's not true. The best superheroes are not dark. The top two superheroes in the world are Spider-Man or Superman and Spider-Man. Those are the
uh,
most famous superheroes worldwide.
well, I would disagree. There is one more that I'm not sure that would probably beat out. I'm not sure whether it would beat out Spider-Man or not, and that's Batman.
No, the top three are Superman, Spider-Man, then Batman. And Batman only because of the movies. He wasn't that well known worldwide. For comics that have gotten out into the world, it was always Superman and Spider Man.
Because to me, Batman is just as much of a household name as
The
Spider-Man.
Shadow was more popular. Elric's got jokes. The Shadow hasn't like been popular ever. He's like only popular in comic book circles and stuff like that. He's never been popular outside like Superman or Spider Man. But let's get back to what Vapormaster said. He said that they should be dark and disturbing. That's not inherently true. The reason they're called superheroes is not just because of their superpower. It's the fact that they instill hope where others don't.
Yeah,
That's why they shouldn't be dark and disturbing. And the market actually corrects for that. No, wait, I already answered that. Never mind. Papermaster says Doomsday Clock and the MCU ruined comics and superheroes. I haven't read all of Doomsday Clock, but I could see how Doomsday Clock would have ruined a lot of heroes due to the fact that they were just trying to correct their mess up with the new 52. And even worse, the new 52 was only created due to the fact that they were losing licenses on some of their main heroes. Instead of just paying out the families.
yeah. They got greed. Greed is always gonna.
43 says comic book circles. He also says the guy was the king of the pulps and radios. Yes, the Shadow was, and again he was famous back. I believe it started off as a radio serial. But you're talking about the 1920s, man. The
No,
Shadow hasn't been relevant
the
like
Shadow was,
forever.
I believe, a pulp book before radio, but
Yes, but again, radio has a further reach.
yeah,
9.2 to 12 million listeners every Sunday back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Um, you also know that in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, most people that were considered middle class or below middle class didn't have radios to listen to things like that.
yeah.
Whereas Superman had reach because he started with a 5-cent comic.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of people, neighborhoods would gather around there, somebody who's ever radio, and listen to these shows. It was a community event. So, for lack of a better way of saying it,
Paper Master says superheroes are supposed to be like gods. They are not meant to be publicly stunt idiots.
publicity
Uh,
stunt. Uh,
well, I would say that the original supposed demigods and all these stories we hear, if you look at the Bible, they call them the men of renown, like Hercules and Thor and all uh, these half breed gods and stuff like that. That's where we get the very big superheroes with the very big powers. But if you actually read their stories, they're not superheroes. In fact, they're not heroes at all.
yeah,
And they call it the hero's journey, but it is not a hero's tale. Usually, it's made to explain certain things that went on in society or something like that, or to teach men or women, uh, a certain virtue or something like that. But yes, no, they weren't. They don't have to be super powered, man, like gods. I mean, I know that's a personal opinion, but they really don't.
yeah.
Superman, the Doc Savage ripoff. Never heard of Doc Savage, but Superman is actually originally based on Hercules and those strongmen that used to perform in the carnivals.
Well,
A
he's
lot of
probably
people don't know that.
you might
They
not.
always say he's based on Christ, and he's not.
Yeah.
You got to
Well,
remember, he was created by two Jewish men. And he's
yeah.
not based on their Messiah. I went back to actually answer this for a friend because he kept trying to nag me that he's based in Judeo-Christian values, and I told him no. That's that idiot Brian Singer that said that in an interview, and I don't take anything Brian Singer says as gospel because Brian Singer is a moron. This is the guy that says his favorite comic book was X-Men, and look at how horrible his original movies were. The guy couldn't stay on the actual characters' storylines properly. Superman, as created by Joel Schuster and Jerry Siegel, by their own lips, in an interview, they themselves said that he was based on strongmen and on Hercules and on uh, Solomon from the Bible. That's why he's supposed to be wise. He's supposed to be powerful like Hercules, and he's also supposed to
Well,
be
wouldn't it have been more Samson from the Bible as well?
no,
Because Samson was.
no. They said Solomon. This is the whole.
Well, no,
Remember,
Solomon. I'm thinking Solomon and Samson.
well,
Because.
no. The reason they did Solomon is because remember Solomon in the Talmud is supposed to be like some wise wizard,
Yeah, but
according to the
you're
Talmud.
saying Hercules for the strength and all that. I would
Well,
think
yeah,
they would
because
go
they were
with
huge.
Samson for the strength.
You would think, but they said that they were huge fans of Hercules.
Uh-huh.
In fact, there's an old comic book cover of Superman where it says that he's like Hercules that they drew and wrote. So yeah, 1 year at the height of the Shadow's popularity, there were 3 Shadow movies, which
Uh,
most of them bombed. Elric.
there you go. Mallet, you can post the link.
Papermaster says I hate Jessica Cruz. She is the worst Green Lantern ever. I actually don't like Jessica Cruz either. And isn't she co-created by Ethan Van Sciver?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say I hate her. I wouldn't say she's the worst Green Lantern ever. Um, Actually, I think Simon Baz is a little worse, and I think even the more newer one that the human one that's was in deep space or whatever.
Eagle is correct.
Although I don't know much about that character.
I would have to look up Doc Savage, but I don't know if he's older than Superman.
Oh yeah, he's would be older than Superman.
But like I told you, that's what Joel Siegel, Joe Schuster, and Jerry Siegel said that they based them on. So I mean, in the end, you have to go with what they said. You can't. We can only assume that he's a ripoff of Doc Savage. He's also not the Uberman. I hate when they say that he's the Uberman. They don't even know that that actually comes from Nazi teaching. John Jonathan Kent sucks. He ruined Superman's legacy. I think Jonathan Kent would have been good if done right. The problem is you need
Yeah.
a good writer. You need a writer that can actually write a family. That's the issue with Jonathan Kent. In well, the one that I've seen, the newer versions, and I don't buy them anymore. But they they didn't start off too bad. Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze and Solitude.
Which guy doesn't have a head mallet?
Rick, can I post a link?
Yeah, I
Mac,
already
not
addressed
addressing.
that and gave him power to post a link.
Doesn't mean it's true. The X-Men are dumb ripoffs of the Doom Patrol. Uh, no, I don't agree with that at all. I don't know if they have their powers, but the
Uh,
X-Men, like,
I
they're not
think
even inspired by uh, other characters.
I think didn't the X Men come first?
I think so too. You never heard of Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, the guy who forcibly changed murders and career criminals into the functioning citizens? No, I've never heard of it. All right. If he's older than Superman, I wouldn't have heard of it. According to the OG Superman, the public crimes.
Rick, it looks real easy. I think it's a game changer for coloring. Uh, oh, the link you put?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you should watch this. Even the first few seconds, it's kind of like a tactic to show you color theory and how to shade.
Oh,
That's a good link, Mallet. Thank you. I'm gonna probably check it out right now after the stream
let's see.
with the Justice of Lords episode. Uh, it's on how easily colored in clip. How to easily color in Clip Studio. Uh, why is relative of Tom Cruise a Green Lantern? Well, he can't be a relative of Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise isn't actually Hispanic and Jessica Cruz is.
Well, then,
But she's probably taller than him, Elric, so I doubt that she's related to him. Rick, give me a ring so I can link some audiobooks of Doc Savage. That's Eagle.
and Eagle went into the Discord to do it, so. He's all right.
I will watch later, man. The guy doesn't have a head, but yes. Sorry, man. I like I said, I was coming down with something, or I'm coming down with something, and I'm like reading really slow.
Yeah, no problem.
Excuse me.
Uh, the audiobook for Zorro First Pulp is on YouTube. Eagle list link for Doc
Yes,
Salvage
I
Pulps.
remember. Zorro
Vapor.
is Pope character, if I
Uh,
remember correctly.
yeah. Yeah, well, heck, I'm thinking of at some point,
Hold on.
I'd like a World War II superheroes. No, I mean World War One superheroes, and I'm thinking of using a bunch of pulp heroes that are in public domain to make them.
That's actually a pretty good idea for an independent. That's a really good idea. Um, I want to get back to what Vapor Master said right here. It says DC Comics now sucks. There hasn't been a good comic since Flashpoint. I would argue that Flashpoint is the reason why DC's comics started to go down. I mean, that's Flashpoint is literally a story that they had Jeff Johns and them create just so that they could do New 52 to keep the licenses.
Yeah, but they could have brought all this stuff in. They could have done a bunch of the like Superman's change of look, so they don't have to pay the Schuster family. They could have done that in the regular continuity. They changed his look before, for different reasons, or and stuff like that. And they could have brought other the characters that their licenses were thing. They could have just given them, something in the regular continuity.
Flashpoint is the last great DC comic.
So yeah, but you're right. I think in doing what they did with Flashpoint, they did ruin a bunch of stuff in DC Comics.
If you look at it, because the New 52 is where we start to see the introduction of a lot of this identity politics. They turn Wally West black. They turn Iris West black. You know, they separated Oliver and
Speedy or Black
uh,
Canary.
Canary. Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, I know that. Oh, right. Actually, I've got a list of ones that I've started to go for, possibly for my World War One superheroes: Tarzan, Zorro, Spider, Butterfly, Tintin, Nightwind, and some few here that are iffy. I probably won't use, but I might try and figure a way to use them. Raggedy Ann and Andy, Peter Pan, and Peter Piper.
uh, yes, I agree and disagree with you, Vapor Master. Watchmen is not supposed to be part of the DC universe, and it's sad that they had to use it on Doomsday Clock due to the fact that the only reason that they made him create Watchmen was because they didn't want him to use the actual DC superheroes. Because he was originally going to use the DC superheroes for that Watchmen storyline. It was going to be like an Elseworlds, but they didn't. They didn't do that. They had him create his own heroes. So them owning it, I could understand why they had to use it or why they felt the need to use it. But I do agree with you. But is Doctor Manhattan not evil? That's not true. Yes, he is. Doctor Manhattan is completely evil because he has no humanity.
Let's see.
When you can rationalize what he did, either in the Watchmen comic or in the Watchmen movie, that's evil. Not saying he's wrong, but it is evil. Killing innocent civilians for the sake of bringing the world together is still evil. Hey, Koopa
uh,
Inc.,
yeah.
the Spider, the Punisher of Pulp. Oh, I kept
Uh,
thinking that a Peter Pan versus Dracula would be cool to draw. Just enough stupid to also maybe be fun. In the comic, he has no control over himself, or in the movie? Because in the movie, he had control over himself. I don't know the comic completely, but from what I've seen, he has control of his powers. Not only is Doctor Manhattan evil, but so is that other one, the really smart character. I can't remember his name.
Olympian or whatever. Is it
I think
Olympian?
it's Sherlock Holmes versus Dracula, both comic and movie. No, yeah, he has control over himself, but he has no humanity.
A pulp hero mod of Freedom Force says Ulrich. Cross
Crazy
Razor.
Cross Razor first. Oh, Cross Razor Fist played a mod of Freedom Force, but the mod had a lot of trouble stream.
Cool.
They should
We should
retcon
recon
Doomsday.
Doomsday Clock.
They should retcon everything they've done.
Yeah, I would like it if they went back to before the new 52.
Hmm. I would take this opportunity to create a new character or a bunch of new characters that would change the course of where they're going. And don't try to explain it all away. Just change the course. That's all you need to do. Because when you try to explain it all away, you're going to peeve off more than just the old fans. Kind of like apologizing for something you didn't do wrong. Like, you'd just be trying to appease SJWs to begin with, and they don't even buy your books.
Well, and there's the problem. Half the time, the fans don't know what they want. You know, like, um, so sometimes you just got to stick to your guns too.
Well, I wouldn't say that they don't know what they want. They don't understand the characters that are written as the way the writer understands them.
And what I mean by that is, yeah, you take when they killed off Jason Todd, everyone, all the fans are pissed off about that, and then
No, no, that's actually wrong. They had the Colin thing. They
yeah,
did a thing. It was the fans that killed Jason Todd. They didn't like him.
but once when they did that, yes, but when they actually did it in the comics, the fans outraged.
Really?
And again, with not so quite when they changed Spider-Man's uniform to the black uniform, what we now know as the symbiont, the Venom, and all that.
Oh,
All the
don't get
fans
me.
outraged, and then you know
I
a
don't
few
like
months
this new Venom.
a few months later, oh, when they were switching it back to the old costume, everybody they outraged again because they switched back to the
I
original.
I do not like Donny Cates's Venom. I do not. I loved where they ended the old Venom storyline with the Agent Venom pieces. They did not need to retcon him into some like entire like mystical thing. Oh, that is just annoying. I thought it was kind of cool that they made him like some organic AI suit, like the Guyver. But I mean, still, the original Venom is the best. But
Yeah.
Donny Cates Venom, man, I remember watching Yellow Flash's videos on it. I think I bought one of them, and I was like, yeah, no, I could see he's gonna turn into a Simon Furman, and he's gonna start giving deities to these characters, and sure enough, he did. Created the Venom God. And I'm like, oh, what is it with you people?
Well, not the Venom God, but the Symbiote God.
Yes, the symbiote God.
Which, if they're, I could sort of see that. I'm not sure what I've heard about what it was and all that. I'm not sure whether I agree how they did it or whatever. But they're a race of beings, right? I could see them having their own mythology or whatever, all that.
Create a sketch with just a little like villains that are relatable, but I agree. I just want villains to be evil. A good mix. I like villains that are relatable, but I agree. No, there are some villains that are relatable that are okay. Much like I was telling Vapor Master, where I said that uh, Doctor Manhattan is evil because he doesn't have his humanity, but it's okay for him to be relatable because that's the topic of the theme of the storyline where someone like Thanos should not be relatable because he was basically a reset button.
Like I think two of the major villains
Bring
in
time to be entity for a new villain. Human
I think
Among
two
Us.
two of the
And
major villains in what's the name of it that are relatable.
time and time again.
Marvel are like what I think it's supposed to be Doctor Doom and Magneto, or at least Magneto. You know,
Mhm. Oh, don't get me started on Magneto. Ugh. Like I like his powers, I like the way they write his dialogue and everything, but I still, for the life of me, cannot see how a person who suffered that kind of atrocity would turn into that kind of person. It would have made more sense for Xavier to become that.
yeah. Well, he's more mad at the humans that um did something to him. You know, and so now he thinks he's superior to them. So you know, in some ways, I get it that way, where he ends up thinking he's superior. But then to me that's why I don't. To me, it shows that evolution isn't a good thing to buy into because it just makes people think that they're superior than other people just for something like skin color or something, silly
Elric,
like.
that would have worked. It would have worked better than like uh this like activists on steroids that we got. Thanos wanting to please Death and introducing Death to the mix would have been hard for the Avengers to grasp, and it would have been why they got caught off guard because I mean, they have supposedly a deity with them in Thor, but they couldn't understand that Death had an embodiment and that Thanos was just trying to please her. So yes, that I'm sorry that would have worked a lot better than what they did. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. I don't like the Thanos they gave us. I
Yeah,
don't care how good of a performance
the
they gave.
overpopulation thing.
Yes, because it's been disproven so many times.
Yeah,
Okay, have you ever seen the What If where T'Challa just literally convinces him not to do it? Um,
yeah, just to
that
go.
would have been a thing. I mean, it was dumb, but the way they did it, but it would have been a thing. You could have just proven his theory wrong.
Yeah. Well, the event. Well,
There
see,
you go.
there's so
Nobody
much.
gets the Loki show.
Well, um, obviously the Avengers couldn't come into wrong because the Avengers don't. Well, except for maybe Thor. The Avengers don't know enough about the universe and all that. What's going on out there?
Well, no, I disagree with Elric. He says one word ego for the Loki show, money. That would have been right if they would have given people the Loki they wanted to see. They didn't. So they lost money on Loki. And they lost money on Bucky and the Winter Soldier. Or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I think the only one that made them money was the Wanda one, the Scarlet Witch show. And that's the only one. They're gonna lose money on Hawkeye as well. Koopa Inc. says just a thing that eats and enjoys the pain that it brings. They could call it the path dammer or the time breaker. Once it's discovered and confronted, it could destroy any timeline, hero world it corrupted. Elric. Wait, this is Disney. I forgot.
Thor doesn't understand the universe and the
universe.
MCU. True,
Also.
but I'm just saying he has a bit more concept of what's going on out in the universe than the rest of the Avengers because, they're all pretty much stuck on Earth. He's actually been out in the cosmos doing things.
No, not the MCU version, Rick. The MCU
Well,
version has only been dealing around with Asgardian stuff. He's
yeah,
never been out to the cosmos. That's why in Ragnarok, he was caught off guard when he landed on that planet.
well, what I mean is okay. You've seen him deal with a little bit of stuff in the Dark Elf one, the second one, and yeah, he was caught off guard with thing. But although he was dealing with Asgardian stuff, but that was still out in the universe somewhat. It's more than being stuck on Earth, dealing with just Earth stuff. You know what I mean?
Well,
At least
yes,
he
but
was
also
out dealing
no,
with he was out dealing with the frost
when
giants.
yes, but when I mean Asgardian stuff, they don't look at the world through the cosmos. They look at the world through dimensions. That's why they have the Bifrost Bridge. The Bifrost Bridge is their bridge between dimensions, not cosmos. That's why he is as like a baby to the cosmos as is the Avengers. This is why they were caught off guard by Thanos. They were also caught off guard by the first one, which is where they went wrong. The first one was where they should have been caught off guard. By the time that Thanos arrives, they really shouldn't have been too off guard.
Yeah.
They should have been prepared that something much bigger was coming. The fact that Iron Man wouldn't share that is it's bad writing. You think he would have said, there's something bigger at play. And it was confirmed at the end of the first one because he saw the Chitauri ship.
Yeah, but the stupid guy
And Captain
probably
Marvel wasn't supposed to be in this universe. It was supposed to be Nova. That's who Captain Marvel is, whose place they're taking.
Yeah. Nova would have been a better character to put in.
It was always hinted at that Nova would make a appearance in the Avengers movie due to the fact that we see the Nova Corps in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and then in Infinity War, we hear that he had destroyed the planet, which means that the last surviving Nova should have been the one that would have come out. Yes, S.H.I.E.L.D. should have been there too, and more important, the saddest part of this entire movie and why I was so angry when I saw Endgame was the fact that he is physically shoehorned into the movie. That whole scene was originally supposed to be the Ravagers showing up. It was supposed to be a ship-on-ship battle with the Ravagers ship. It was supposed to have been the Ravagers that found Tony and, what's her name? The blue bold chick. I can't remember her name right now. They were supposed to have found them, and they were supposed to have gone and then returned when the battle started. And that thing that was breaking the atmosphere was supposed to be the Ravagers ship, but Nova was supposed to be with them. And did that make me angry? I was like, this would have, like, allowed them to do the Nova character, and I'm like, I blame the Marvel Comics. Yes, Eagle, there should have been a lot more space exploration. After the first Avengers movie, in the second one, there should have been space exploration. Elric says, also funny how the most technically advanced city, Wakanda, doesn't have the shield under the ground. Right? Koopa says the Ravagers would have been way better. Yes, but the Ravagers were supposed to find the last Nova person, the last actual Nova warrior. In fact, if you look at some of the comics and even in some of the cartoons, Nova has worked with the Guardians of the Galaxy. And he also would have tied in that the Ravagers would have been in that fight because Yandu was a brother to them, and to have known that Peter had been, wiped off because of it, they knew Yandu raised Peter. We had a chance to see Sylvester Stallone fight Thanos. Yeah, that would have been fun. Dude, is it Michelle Yeoh one of them as well? And Ving Rhames? I mean, you would have had a bunch of butt kickers. They're all old butt kickers, but
Yeah, and well, it's supposed to be the helmet that gives the thing, right, for Nova.
yes, Nova was supposed to have found the helmet. Yeah, originally I forgot who's the one that was saying that it was either supposed to be the Ravagers that found Tony or Nova himself that found Tony. We just with the Fantastic Four adopted to next. Oh, Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom in the mix. Yeah, it would have been a lot harder for Thanos to get his plans off the ground. Doctor Doom would have been in it for his own reasons, but he would have worked side by side with Reed Richards.
Yeah,
It would have been Disney's Expendables. Yes, the Ravagers would be the Marvel version of the Expendables, right? Yes, they would have been printing their own money, and they still could do, or they still could have done after Endgame. They could have done the Fantastic Four, and they could do Doctor Doom, and they could do the X-Men. The only problem that without Thanos, they really don't have a big baddie anymore. I mean, you do have some, but
well, although he's supposed to be a Fantastic Four villain, now with them having the Fantastic Four back and all their guys, they can do Galactus and maybe do Galactus justice.
well, they can. But I mean, it's not gonna be it would be an Avengers level threat. It's just gonna be one giant guy and a few of his heralds. That's the issue. You would have to change Galactus to be more like Thanos, where he has a major military force with him, which he's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, but even if like most of those heralds could easily take on like 4 or 5 Avengers. It'd take 4 or 5 Avengers to take them out, I think, or take them on. How many? Who are all the? Well, we obviously there's the Silver Surfer, there's Terrax, there is the Nova. I think it's her name is Nova. The Nova
Well,
one.
yeah, it used to be Firestar, I believe. She turns into Nova.
No, it's a different character. It's not the Angelica that turns into it. At least if I'm right. Um, there's Fire Lord. Um,
Yeah.
so there's 4 there, and I'm sure there's a bunch more um, heralds. How many? Anybody know how many heralds Galactus has?
Who would you put as Silver Surfer though?
I don't know. The guy that they did have for the movie wasn't too bad. The
Well, it's Lawrence Fishburne. That's who that was, Lawrence Fishburne.
yeah heralds. Um,
There are still some things they could do. I would like to see what they would do with the X-Men, but now the way they're going, we know they ain't gonna give us anything good. They're gonna give us woke X-Men. Polyamorous Wolverine and Cyclops.
Okay, there's Airwalker, Fallen One, Firelord. It says Human Torch, Morgue, Silver Sentinel.
No, you don't, Elric. But the reason I said he would need a military force is because then you would have to have so that you could have a movie like Endgame. If not, you're just gonna have a few characters, or it's just gonna be a CGI mess of like this giant humanoid villain and all these forces. Like it'll look like the Transformers of the Autobots and Decepticons versus Unicron at the end of the Transformers movie, which works good in animation, does not work good in live actions that with CGI in it.
Uh,
We still didn't get Adam that was hinted in the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yes, I hate that we didn't. I honestly thought that Infinity War and or Endgame we were going to see him because I thought that those man, I can't remember their names, that race of the women with all the gold paint, that they were actually going to be in the fight. I thought it was going to be a full-fledged fight. I didn't think he was going to pop out of some like full of Transformers and pop out of like some miniature version and then just show up like right in front of the Avengers Tower or the Avengers base. I thought he was going to physically come.
yeah. Anyways, I got a database for believe thing of Galactus,
This
Heralds
is
of
Matthew
Galactus.
McConaughey. Matthew
There's
McConaughey.
one. There's
For
one called the Fallen One, Silver Surfer, Airwalker, Firelord, the Destroyer, Terrax, the Tamer, Nova. Yeah, Frankie Ray is that Nova. Was the adopted daughter of William Ray, secretly Phineas T. Horton in disguise. And Horton, the inventor of the original Human Torch. Okay, but anyways, Nova, Morgue, and the Herald Ordeal, the Redshift, Invisible Boy, Stardust, Annihilation,
oh, so he
Hunger.
has a good number of them then.
Yeah, and
Which would
I think Invisible Boy is actually Johnny Storm when him and Suits change powers.
when what? Sorry, what? Which ones would you choose to be able to kill off, and which ones would you rescue?
Well, obviously, I think you rescue Silver Surfer. I don't know much about most of them. Maybe rescue Nova as well. I know Terrax is supposed to be a pretty nasty guy, so you probably maybe kill him off, or Firelord. But then again, it's not so much do you kill them off; it's just do you fend them off and send Galactus packing, and he goes wherever in the universe.
We are debating in your comment section who would play the Silver Surfer. Eagle says Matthew McConaughey. Elric says Nicolas Cage. And of course, I'm right because it should be Keanu Reeves. He already has the natural surfer accent.
Yeah.
This would be his perfect role. No, Elric. Oh, I didn't mind the movie, but I did not like the fact that he's supposed to be Johnny Blaze, but why is he dressed like Daniel? When he turns into the Ghost Rider, he turns into Daniel's version of the Ghost Rider. Daniel is the one with the leather jacket and the spikes. The Johnny Blaze one had the onesie with very few spikes. I never saw the second one. By that time, I started going to church and I stopped watching certain types of movies.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
kind of glad because everybody said it was really bad.
And then, of course, Galactus has got a whole bunch of different weapons, apparently. Well,
We need somebody that can narrate. That is true, Eagle. Yeah, but I don't think either McConaughey or um, Cage could pull the narration off either. Don't watch the second movie ever. What is happening?
but I'm not sure who else could be a big baddie in. Well, they could redo. Well, not so much Planet Hulk, but Contest of Champions. Make that a thing somehow.
Yeah, some people were saying that they're hinting at Planet Hulk and also the Maestro. Like the Maestro can actually be an Avengers level threat
Yeah. Well,
if done
Planet.
right.
They sort of already did. They almost did Planet Hulk already with right in Ragnarok.
Hayden Christensen is good at silent parts. No, no, Koopa Inc. Carl Urban. Ugh, I've said this before. Coming from somebody that has studied acting enough to know Carl Urban is not a very good actor. He is not. I cannot stand it when people say dread this, dread that. I'm like, I watched that movie 4 times, and I could still tell you he gave one of the worst performances. I'm not saying that Stallone did much better, but you could tell he is pretending to have that smirk. He is pretending to make his voice that deep. Like he's playing pretend. Yeah, Carl Urban is not that good of an actor. Daniel Craig as the Silver Surfer. Actually, that would not be bad. No, and it's okay, Ulrich, if you liked it. A lot of people liked it. I'm not saying that the movie's bad. It's actually a good movie, but I'll let you in on a little secret, Ulrich. It's not a Judge Dredd movie. It's a Judge Hershey movie. Watch it again and see who the main character is who moves the plot forward. It's not Dredd. It's Hershey. Remember, it's her evaluation. And even Dredd says that it has to be her decision. There's also that scene where they make him look a bit like a punk when he's fighting the other judges. Even though if you read the comics, he's feared even by the other judges because he's such a stickler to the law. Like he would have executed them on sight, finding out that they were crooked. Have you read any Judge Dredd comics, Rick?
Um, well, I think I've read a couple crossovers. That's about it. Like Dread and Batman or something like that. I think I might have one or two in my collection. I watched the movies, obviously, like the Stallone one first. And
I enjoyed the Sylvester Stallone movie. There are things I would have taken out of it. Rob Schneider. Um, but I don't think he did too bad of a job. I think the suit is what always bothered me. Like I don't need to see a judge trying to chase me down with a giant codpiece and a leotard that's skin tight. They should have gone with the leather.
although I could be wrong. I think the second one, just Dread, not the Sylvester Stallone one, was maybe a little closer to the comics.
Yes, the helmet was right in that. They did add armor to the jacket, but I mean at that point I'm just splitting hairs. But I do actually like the suit or the costume in the Dread movie. The Dread movie got a lot of things right.
Uh,
But if you look at them, they both should be considered Dread movies for the fact that both of the Dreads play out like two of the comics. You have Dread comics that are very gritty, very adult, very violent, and then you also have very campy comics from Dread. Whenever you touch on like Judge Death or the being in the what is it, the wastelands or the outlands, they're very grimy, very dirty, very violent comics. But whenever you do like inside the cities, you can get a very violent, very adult based comic, but more often than not, you get a campy one. Yeah, never taking the helmet off was a good thing. I can agree that to that. But in all honesty, if I have to look at Judge Dredd with Stallone as a movie from a movie's perspective, it didn't hurt the movie for him to take it off. What hurt it is the fact that him and his twin brother don't look almost anything alike. Yes, but we never know why. People speculate as to why he never took his helmet off. Please, to me, I always make the joke that he was probably like the what do they call those artists, Rick, that work for the cops?
Sketch artist?
Yes, that he was probably like the sketch artist that did the Unabomber's uh, face sketch, where they asked him why did you put sunglasses on him? He's like, because I'm not good at drawing eyes. That's an art joke that we used to tell all the time, and that's the same thing that I would always say about Judge Dredd is like maybe the guy just was not good at drawing faces or didn't want to, because basically here's a little tidbit that a lot of people don't know. Do you know that Stallone was chosen for a reason to play Judge Dredd?
Oh, yes. Well, possibly because of celebrity
Oh,
standing.
no. I'll tell you why. Do you remember the movie Death Race 2000? The original?
I never watched it, but I know of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He plays a character named Mean Joe. Mean Joe is the design that the original creator or the creator of Judge Dredd used to create Judge Dredd, the helmet. He created him like Mean Joe based on the scowl that Stallone has in that film. As Stallone has that natural scowl where the left side of his lip, or is it the right side? One side of his lip naturally like curved down.
Mm.
I didn't even know that because I didn't like that they had gotten Stallone to play him originally. I was like against it big time in the 90s until a fan of Judge Dredd kind of set me straight. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I used to read Judge Dredd religiously. Like it was part of my pull list, and I have like some of the books about how he created them and how he created Mega City." He goes, one of the things he said that he was inspired by the character Mean Joe in Death Race 2000, and I was like, okay, well, again, you got to take the creator's word for it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's 2:15. This has been great. We're I'm not sure how far down this page. It's looking good. We got to put some background in some things still. And tighten up lines for coloring, obviously. But
My favorite one liner in that movie: recycled, recycled good or food. It's good for the earth, okay, for you. Yeah, I remember that.
so yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow night, drawing up one of my characters. And everybody, if you're not on Rumble, howdy har har, Elric. Um, go over to Rumble. Rumble on Wednesday. I am going to do a high noon over there, and I'm going to be coloring up one of the Canadian Shield pages that I have. So if you want to go over there on Wednesday, yeah, make sure you're there, and of course, make sure you're here tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, when we're drawing up my Cross Comics character. So we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great, wonderful day. You want to say bye?
All right, God bless. We will see you later.